You ever look in the mirror and think, hey, where'd those wrinkles come from? Man, I didn't see those there yesterday.
That's the way it feels, isn't it? Botox can give you a more youthful appearance for sure. And we're talking now about who it's for.
Happy to welcome back Dr. Joel Schlessinger, a board-certified dermatologist and cosmetic surgeon. Good to see you again, Doctor.
Nice to have you
Good
back.
to be here.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
This is like liquid gold here, this Botox I hear about. Explain, what exactly is it? I know it's an injectable, isn't it?
Yeah, Botox is just a naturally purified protein, and it's something that we can inject and causes wrinkles to relax. So it's just a muscle relaxer, and so it takes away expressions that are ones that we don't want. So like that frown when somebody is looking at something very carefully, but other people may misinterpret it as a mean or angry look.
What don't we know about Botox? It's been around for years. Maybe the basics people get. What don't we know?
Absolutely. So, that's a great question, because I think that we think of Botox as just almost like Kleenex. It is so out there. But I actually have a little show and tell here that I thought would be interesting for your viewers. So this is what Botox is like when it comes to us. So this is actually a vial of Botox as we take it out. And when you take that vial of Botox out, the most important thing that we have to explain to our people, our employees, and really everybody who's looking at it, is that there's really nothing in it. It's a little crystalline powder.
Like an empty...
What do you mean there's nothing in it?
There's crystalline powder at the bottom of it. It is not a liquid when it's in the bottle.
Okay.
So when you actually get Botox, we have to actually reconstitute it. We take a little bit of saline and we reconstitute it. So if you have Botox that is reconstituted very like a weak shot versus a stiff shot, there's a big difference. So when you go into a clinic and somebody injects Botox into you, you are trusting that they didn't water it down. So a lot of places that advertise Botox at like $99 for Botox, they're just watering it down. They take this little crystalline powder and they just make it a lot of fluid in it, and they inject it, and it may not last as long, it may not do as well, it may not be the same as if you go into somewhere where they reconstitute it with a very little amount of water, of saline, and you get a longer lasting Botox.
This is so interesting
to
me.
I've heard of these parties where people come over to the house and Aunt Nancy's shooting injectable stuff into the face, and you need to trust the people you're getting Botox from.
Please.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. It's just like anything. If you give the ingredients of a cake to one person versus a master chef, you're going to get a very different experience. So Botox, when it's done right, has a magical result. It makes people look refreshed, less tired. It makes them look better. It makes a better version of them. Whereas if it's done just kind of like, oh my goodness, I've seen some things that are not so good.
And that's where people fear that frozen look. But what you're saying is when it's done correctly, it can absolutely look natural. We have a couple of your patients to show, the before and after. And if you wouldn't mind, contrast these two images for us.
So you can see the eyes on the person on the right, on the after view, and you can see that person is more relaxed. They just don't look as intense. It's a nice look where they're more refreshed. And then you can also see that on that next photo, when we go on to it, you can see the side view. The crow's feet on her area are actually much better, and you can see the eye is just a little bit more attractive. It's a more, I don't know, I call it alluring look, but I think that that's what we see with Botox when it's well done, is that people actually have a nicer look. They're more refreshed. They're less likely to be interpreted as angry or upset or something like that. I always say that when somebody goes to a wedding, that's the one time you don't want to be looking and frowny, like that person, like, do you take this man to be frown?
Right. Is she going to be the one who stands out?
No, but that one the picture on the right, it didn't look like they had any work done on the face. It looked natural. And then when you talk about the typical patient, is there an age range patients get the best results?
There's actually a lot of debate about that, because we want to start people with Botox when they're younger so they don't get those frown lines that are fixed. Because if you can do Botox early on, you can keep people from having frown lines that will be there forever. I mean, we call a crease or a frown line, or just a very absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And it's a habit. Some people just tend to get into the habit of frowning, and it's, a lot of times if they are needing glasses, or if they're just doing some very, very work where they're looking at something and focused on it.
A few more questions, because I want to do almost a rapid fire if we could, to get as much information here in our last few minutes. How often, once you get your first treatment, you love the results, how often do you need to get it to maintain those results?
Well, people anticipate that they'll be getting it forever, but in reality, I think that Botox changes the way you do things and it unlearns a habit of frowning. So many people, although the results of the Botox wear off after about 3.5 months, they actually don't need it for 3 to 6 months because they just don't frown afterwards. They have this more relaxed view. So it is about 3 to 6 months is what I see, but actually the results of the Botox last about 3 to 3.5 months.
So for those people out there that maybe say, I want to just try a couple treatments, but they're nervous that if once they start, they got to keep going.
Oh, I think that I see that a lot. People say, well, let's see, if it's 3 months for the rest of my life, it's like, no, let's not think about it this way. Let's think about it as, let's do it in 3 months, see how you do, and see when you need it, rather than coming in like clockwork. Some people do, but most people actually do it about 2 to 3 times a year, and that's enough.
You're not getting a hairdo.
Right.
It's not getting a haircut.
Is there a way to make the results last longer? I'm thinking about, you were talking about the composition and the saline, all that stuff. That's probably one way.
Oh,
but
absolutely. And we're experimenting on newer forms of Botox that do last longer. So we've done a lot of clinical research on Botox. There's a new form called Dysport that lasts about 3 to 4 months. There's a new form that we have called Evolus that we're working on that is showing very nice results. So there are newer and newer treatments for Botox that will extend its improvement over time.
Dr. Schlessinger has a lot of patients out there. This is not for his current patients. This is for new patients. If you're a new patient and you want to come see Dr. Schlessinger, you'll get $100 off the first Botox treatment.
That's
you just have to
great.
mention the Morning Blend when scheduling that appointment at the phone number below right there.
That's right, 334-7546. You know where to find him at Skin Specialists PC, just east of 144th and Center on Oakview Drive. And then online, we'll send you to lovelyskin.com/Botox because he does a lot of things, but we're talking about Botox today. If you want to learn more, swing by the site at the bottom of the screen. It's good to see you.
Good info, yeah, good to see you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Well, the